So I'm going to start the recording right now. Hey guys, I'm Christy Bellis. I work at FlyWheel here, and if you don't know what FlyWheel is, we are a co-working community right here in downtown Winston, and we like to say, you can work for yourself, but not by yourself. So here you have a community, a network, a professional networking community, a professional address, and people who work here say they're a million times more productive. Their mental spirits and emotional spirits are up because they're not working from their spare guest room or their kitchen table. And you just wake up and have a place to go. We have lots of great amenities here, lots of great resources, and as well as lots of great members. And H.O.P.E Dealers and Frankie is one of those for sure. So Indeavor Luncheon is something that it gives a chance for people in the community to hear and talk with a leader in the community. Kind of a chance to speak to people that you wouldn't necessarily be able to speak to. So we get to hear about what is going on in Winston, different organizations in Winston-Salem. And today we are very grateful and thankful to have Frankie here with us with H.O.P.E Dealers to discuss what he is doing, what him and his team is doing in Winston, and how we can help them with all their efforts. So if you guys have any trouble hearing, you can just put it in the chat. And if you have any questions that you don't want to forget, feel free to drop in the chat and we'll get to them at the end. So without further ado, Frankie.
Laptop went off. I'm gonna take this off now. Okay, before I speak, I always do a little icebreaker. I can't see you all, but I can feel you all. Aaron, put your hands on your nose. Y'all actually did it. That's the funniest thing. Y'all actually did it. I didn't think you would actually do it, but I'm so glad to be here. This is a great opportunity. Never thought in a million years I would be in this place where I am now. And, I'm just grateful to be able to share my vision and the movement me and my team have out here in the city of Winston-Salem. Give me one moment to get this laptop together.
Is it the laptop or the TV?
It's the laptop you want to cut on.
Great. Great.
Okay, being there. Clicker. Oh, okay. Thank you. Took my clicker. Ethan stole my clicker. All right, let's start. What is H.O.P.E Dealers Outreach? What is H.O.P.E Dealers Outreach? HOPE stands for helping other people everywhere. Helping other people everywhere. When I started H.O.P.E Dealers Outreach, we were first named Helping Hands Foundation, right? Quick funny story. A friend of mine called me from Atlanta. She said, bro, y'all have the same name as us. One of us have to change it. I said, well, I don't know what to tell you, but Frankie Gist and his team won't be changing nothing. So make the long story short, we talked, they had their name before us. I agreed to, I will really look back at this and get with my team. I text my team at 8 p.m. at this time. This is 2017. I texted them, I said, well, y'all need to get to my house immediately. I order food, we'll play some games, but we have to brainstorm on a different name that will identify us and our movement. So from 8 p.m. to about 3 a.m. in the morning, at 3 a.m. in the morning, that's when H.O.P.E Dealers were, so many names were thrown out there. Oh God, we couldn't agree on nothing. One of them said Earth Changers or something. I said Earth Changers, but Helping Hands, H.O.P.E Dealers Outreach was, at that time, came from a man that was on my team that was the president, named Jeffrey Fitch. We hosted a protest together back in 2016, and we became close that day, and he became our president at that time. He said, bro, what describes us most is H.O.P.E Dealers Outreach, helping other people everywhere. We're always on the scene. We're always trying to give a helping hand. He said, bro, that describes us so much. He said, we were all out here in the streets dealing everything else. But now we out here and we're going to deal hope. So that's where H.O.P.E. Dealers came from, helping other people everywhere. That's me. I look good. I look good. I know. Soak it in. It's okay. But I'm the founder of Hope Dealers Outreach, right? Founder, I'm born from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, born and raised from the north side of Winston. A little bit about me, I come from a single parent home. My mom raised 4 kids on her own. I'm the only one who went to college, graduated high school, and I'm the only one that graduated high school, the only one that went to college as well. And my mom always told me, she said she knew that I was gonna grow up and be something. She said, but you're gonna be young and you're gonna fall into different cracks. You're gonna run into different things, but at the end of the day, you were destined to win. And that followed me all through my life. I got to a place where I got young, and everybody knows if you have kids at the age 15, I would say I got a son that's 3, and he gives me those blues too. But if you have a kid at the age of 15, 16 years old, they are at a place in their time in their life where they got the big head. They think they're grown, semi-grown. They think they can pay bills. They think they can do whatever in the world. And I was a troubled kid already. But when I got 16, I became more angry. My mom was dying at that time. I don't know if you ever heard of sciatic nerves, but hers were bad. I'm talking about, I seen my mom. My mom's the type of person, she got up for work at 2 a.m. in the morning, they get home to 5 p.m. And make the long story short, I became an angry person. So I got into a lot of trouble. Oh, a lot of trouble, lots of trouble. Quick background about that. I was looking at 3 years in prison. 3 years in prison as a 16-year-old young man. 16, went to a good school. I went to a private school at that, Quality Education Academy. That's why I wear suits to this day, because of them. But 3 years in prison, I was scared. Oh, Lord, I was scared. Oh, I was scared. I told my mom, I said, Mama, they're going to arrest me? I said, are they going to put me in jail? I said, Mom, I can't do jail. I like to eat snacks at night. I like to walk around the house. I like to go watch TV. So make the long story short, the God above gave me another chance at life. Another chance at life. Went to court. God rest my dad's soul. The dad, because my biological father wasn't in the house, but my pastor raised me. He took me in. He took my name. He took my dad's name off my birth certificate and put his on there. And ever since then, he raised me. That's who my son is named after. He was a pastor, and he instilled a lot of wisdom into me. And he came to court with me. So many people came to court with me that day. And the judge asked me something that still sticks with me to this day. And he scared me so bad when he said this. He said, young man, what school do you want to go to? Now, at the time, I'm a Duke fan, so I wanted to go to Duke University. I said, Duke University. He said, well, son, do you think that you will be able to do that or be the person that you were destined to be if you're in jail? I said, no, of course not. He said, well, I'm going to tell you now, if you come back here, I'm going to let you know, just bring you a toothbrush, and that's it, because you won't be leaving back out. He gave me another chance. They put me on probation. To make the long story short, I stayed out of trouble. I changed my whole life, did a whole 360. I wasn't perfect, but I wasn't doing the things that I was doing then. So Hope Dealers was even birthed out of me even more. It was already inside of me, but I was able to birth it out because I got help for myself. So that's what I tell a lot of people in outreach period. In outreach, you're not able to help other people until you're able to help yourself. So if you're dealing with things in your life that you need to get into place, then get those things in place, and then you'll be able to go into the community and help them too as well, because you don't want to bring your mess to their mess and it'll be nothing but toxic. So that's a little story about me. Our services, Hope Dealers Outreach. I am a big thing about fighting against gun violence. I can tell you right now, I have spoke at over 250 peace gatherings for either young men and women who were killed in gun violence. I did my calculation. I spoke over 250 people's peace gatherings. I'm talking about the youngest age I spoke for was 5 years old. A 5-year-old little boy named Alberto was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting. And I was there at his family's, my team, we are always there for the family. We are the first one families call. We come, stand with them. We put the word out there to bring awareness to what happened to the young man or woman. And what we do is we pressure the community to speak up, because gun violence is a serious thing that's happening within our city. And I can't tell you how many times mothers have cried in my arms, or kids have cried in my arms because of their loved one being taken away from gun violence. So that's one of the services that we provide by fighting against gun violence. And we help with the homelessness. Now, I know everybody saw Tent City Akron, right? And I'm gonna get into that, but let me go over the services. We help people with jobs, resources with jobs and housing, so much more. Anything in the city, you would catch H.O.P.E dealers doing. If it's dealing with mental health, we're dealing with it. If it's dealing with suicide, we're dealing with it. If it deals with healthcare, we're dealing with it. If it does anything with Black Lives Matter, we're dealing with it. We are helping other people everywhere. We didn't identify what we were helping them with. That means we are helping you with anything. You need help moving, we're gonna help you move. That's just who we are. So those are the services that we provide. Now, I was inspired about getting into outreach when Trayvon Martin was killed. I was at Quality Education Academy at this time in 2012. And I was a freshman, I think. I was a freshman. And I cried in class. I didn't understand the power of protesting or anything until my teacher at the time, Dr. Tamara Turner, asked me, she said, Frankie, what do you think should be done? You know, you're so upset. So I need to know, what do you think should be done? And I said, let's protest. Not knowing what protesting was, that's just something I heard, you know, and something I would see, but I never knew the power behind it. And make the long story short, we put together a student-led protest, me and 3 other students, and we brought out over 400 people, and we were able to have a sidewalk built by the school that we had because of the protest we did. The city wanted to build that sidewalk. So that was when H.O.P.E dealers was inside of me then. So that's how I got into outreach. Even when I was doing my mess as a 16-year-old out here in these streets, I was still wanting to do outreach. That was my passion. I wanted to do it, but I knew for a fact that I could not step in it until I got myself together, because I am a leader first, and I don't want to lead anyone the wrong way, right? So, donations, grants, Ethan, you got to explain this to me, brother.
Absolutely. Hello everyone. So here are our donations. This is our goal. So our top goal, as you can see, is the $33,000 that we're wanting from the community, whether that's online giving, writing in checks, whatever. Of course, we don't want one person writing the whole check, but if you want to, please come holler at me. But that's just in general, from just collecting and people giving monthly in the community. And then our grants, 75,000 is our goal in grants that we would like to get, hopefully. And if we can't get that 75,000, 25,000 is our lowest we're going to go for accepting grants, because we do a lot for the community and we don't want to, you know, jinx ourselves or anything like that. So that's what that is as far as the giving of H.O.P.E dealers. So far, H.O.P.E dealers have been able to maintain with a zero budget balance, because the community just comes out the woodworks. Frankie gets on live and he say he needs waters, and people be coming all out the place, showing, calling. I mean, it is unbelievable. Everything that we've ever needed, people have been able to give. But with the works and where we're trying to head, we also need to have a correct balance as well, so that we're not always relying on donations. So, yeah.
Thank you, Ethan.
I was reminded of something that my dad told me. He said, in order to get something you never had, you got to do some things that you never done. At that time, I was young and didn't understand it, but I'm a genuine person. I have a genuine heart. Everything I ever done, I'll put this out there, everything I ever done, it has come out of my pocket or my family's pocket. I've never applied for a grant, never got anything from the city or anybody else. I've always done it out of my pocket, because I knew for a fact that my city needed someone somebody to stand up. And I made a promise to myself, even if I have to stand alone, I will make sure that I will do everything possible to make sure that the city of Winston-Salem is in a better place. So when Ethan came a part of the team, y'all, he showed me a different revenue. Ethan is awesome, okay? I have to put that out there. I'm sorry. I have to give credit to where it's due. It's a bad frog who won't praise his own pond. And I'm a believer of that I have to praise the people who work with me, because when you see me, I'm the face, but behind the scenes, Ethan is the brains, okay? Ethan is a great person, and he showed me a new revenue of things and showed me a new way to do things. I was used to just doing groundwork. I didn't want to do an office. I didn't want to dress up. I just always wanted to do community work, straight like that. But Ethan showed me a new way of things, a professional way to do things. I've been professional, but he helped me recalibrate in some areas to get it together. So, you know, I say that to say this is that, you know, this is, you know, that's all good and everything, but I wanted people to know that it's not about the money with me. It's not, you know. Even if I will never get a $75,000 grant, I will continue to be the voice and continue to do the work that me and my team do in the community, is because we really have a genuine heart to help the people. So thank you, Ethan, for everything. Okay, the back to school drive we did in 2020, right? We put this together. We connected with a church called Destiny Temple Outreach and Cycle Bar Winston-Salem. I don't know if you're familiar with Cycle Bar. Dixon Douglas is one of my favorite people in the world. I love him. He's awesome. Dixon, if you're looking, I love you, bro. But Cycle Bar and Destiny Temple Outreach Church and Hope Dealers got together and said, hey, we need to go to the east side of town by Cleveland Avenue Project Homes, right? And I say these children, the pandemic, first of all, has hit a lot of people. It hurt a lot of people. And at this time, the pandemic was still fresh and a lot of families were struggling. I knew in that specific area, because before we do anything, I do investigation, I do groundwork, which means I go into these communities, talk to the people, find out what's really needed, what do they need, what do they want, what is the problems, what can we do to fix these problems, so I do my investigation first, then I go back to the team, present it to them, and I say, this is what they need, what can we do? We came up with a strategic plan. We said, listen, we're gonna do a back to school drive-through. You can drive through or you can just walk up, right? When we did it, I didn't expect a lot of people to come, because at that time, a lot of people were doing a lot of back to school things, right? So I was like, you know, I kept telling Ethan, I said, I really hope people come. I really hope that they know we're out here. But, you know, God was saying who needs to come and who doesn't. So we did pretty good. Donated items 25 plus from what we counted, 25 plus, right? A lot of people in the area were living in low income. Most of the families that came had families of 6, 7. And I would ask them, I said, you know, is everything good? They said, you know, y'all were a blessing today, because I really didn't know how my children were going to get school supplies. I'm not even aware of people who's doing it. So I so happened to drive by and see you all. And that made my heart good. And that wasn't the only family. Another family came. Then another family came. Then another family came. Then grandmothers and grandfathers were coming for their grandchildren. That was just making my heart glad. Helping other people everywhere. Oh, even if we're not familiar with that side of town, there's still people that need our help. So when we did this in Cleveland Homes and the surrounding area, a lot of people were able to be blessed. We not only gave them school supplies, but we were able to give food away as well. We were able to bless them with a little package to say, hey, you know, go home, you know, you got your school supplies, it's a little meal if you need to, you know, go in peace, and we love you here at Hope Dealers. So that back to school drive, we're doing it again this year, right? We're still doing it again this year, and we're going to do it bigger this time. Cycle Bar did a ride. They actually did a cycle ride where they rode from like 8 a.m. to about 3 p.m. nonstop, didn't take a break, and collected school supplies since that time. So that was an awesome event. I was glad to see how many people we were able to bless. Thanksgiving. Now, this was something that was special to me. This was real special because we went to another side of town, Salem Gardens. These are another low-income apartments. I did my investigation, find out what was going on, what was needed. A lot of families over there at the time, the pandemic really hit them. They were not able to afford Thanksgiving. So I talked to Dixon, cycle bar again. I talked to Dixon, I talked to my team. We put it all together. Make a long story short, Thanksgiving outreach, we went to this neighborhood and we knocked on doors. And I'm telling you, it was just me and Ethan at the time because my other members of my team wasn't able to make it because everybody had different obligations to do. But you will see us walking around the neighborhood with a big cooler full of turkeys and hams and canned goods. And what we did, we knocked on the door. If you open it, if you answer, you answer. If you didn't, you didn't, you know, but we still knocked. We knocked on every door and we were able to give families either turkeys or ham. And oh my God, what they were saying was just crazy. One lady said, oh my God, I didn't even have a meal. And now I can enjoy my Thanksgiving today. Her son is gone. He died. So she had no family and she didn't even know how she was going to eat. So we knocked on different doors and were able to bless different families. We had provided over 20 hams for each household and turkeys. So, and not only that, we were able to see the smiles. That's what outreach is about with me. It's seeing people who I know has been crying, been frustrated, confused on where to go, to see them smile at that moment. At that moment, they put away all the cares that they had to say, you know what? Thank you. This made my day. So that's why I say helping other people everywhere, that's our goal. Hope Dealers Outreach. And shout out to Lowe's as well. Lowe's were one of the reasons why we were doing that as well. Women's Outreach launches soon. My beautiful fiance, and she's gorgeous, y'all. I love her. I met her when I was a freshman at A&T, right? And I just knew she was gonna be my wife. I know it. She didn't like me, but I knew she was gonna be my wife. I created a women's outreach. I was really in meditation, and I'm a big fan of women. I'm a real big fan of women because I watched my mom raise 4 kids on her own. We were homeless. Sometimes she didn't know how when the next meal was gonna come. I seen my mom eat with that. I seen my mom never eat and made sure we ate. I seen her, we'll be in hotel rooms because we couldn't afford a house and we had people helping us, and to see how she still went to work. She didn't complain not once. She didn't ask our fathers for nothing. She didn't ask nobody for nothing. She did what she had to do. So I seen how strong women can be. And so I say, you know what? I have to create an organization or something that will, you know, cater to our women of our community. PrEP. PrEP is a women's organization reaching for women from all walks of life when they are in need of Hope Dealer services or resources. This is a resource within the organization. You see what I'm saying? Because even with Tent City, and this is a sidebar, with Tent City, there were women in the Tent City that, you know, I'm a professional and I do believe in right. I believe that men should deal with the men, and I do believe women should deal with the women just for liability reasons. Everybody is just not an honest person, let's be honest. So I just say, you know, you deal with them and we would deal with them just for safe concerns for our organization and for you as well, and for them. So PrEP was birthed. And I told my fiance, I said, I don't know what you're gonna do. I said, but you're gonna run this. And you're gonna take it to the next level because you have a passion for women and you walk beside me. So I know for a fact you have a passion for outreach. And so ever since then, we've been working on PrEP, and this will be launching off this year. It's been a long time getting this together. She was, like I said, you have to be ready. You have to make sure you're right first, mentally, right? Before you start going into the community dealing with other people. So it took some time, but now she's in a place where she said, you know what, I'm ready, let's take over. And that's what she's doing. So we will be launching off PrEP's Women's Outreach, right? And that's gonna be an awesome, dope organization that I can't wait to really get deep into it. Employment, National Job Day, November 6, 2020. there was a need, the pandemic hit. Like I said, the pandemic really hurt a lot of people. Jobs is very important. That's why I'm real big on the city about jobs. And we're gonna talk about that because I can't wait to get into Tent City. I know everybody wanna know about Tent City, and I'm definitely gonna talk about that, and this is gonna fall into it. Employment, I'm real big on jobs. Where I come from, I can talk about where I come from. Where I come from, a lot of my friends went to jail, got a felony on their record, and they tell them you have to get out, right? And you need to find a job, change your life. Most of them guys who would go apply can't get a job because the felony on their record. Now, like I would tell them when they come to me complaining about it, I said, well, let's be honest, bro. You wouldn't be in that predicament if you just would listen to somebody and stayed out of the way. But that's neither here nor there. Everybody makes mistakes, but everybody do deserve a second chance. And I am a believer of second chances because I got one. So I reached out to a couple people. I said, listen, y'all, I know for a fact that you can help them. I don't want them selling drugs no more. I don't want them on a corner and somebody come by and do a drive-by shooting because they're jealous of what they got because they don't have that. That's how it is. So I said, what can you do to help get them off the streets to be able to afford to take care of their families? Because the main thing is taking care of their families. They want to make sure they have enough funds to be able to do what they need to do for their families, right? So make the long story short, we were able to get 10 to 15 people jobs. To come out there, 10 to 15 jobs, to come out there to help people get jobs. A couple of them got jobs and some of them, hey, listen, I'm only gonna give you a fishing pole. Now it's up to you, after I teach you how to fish, is to catch your own fish, because I ain't gonna catch it for you. I don't even know how to fish, so I can't teach you. So I gave them the fishing pole. Some people caught their own fish. Some people actually needed help catching their fish, and that's okay. Everybody's not gonna get to it that fast. Some people put the fishing pole down, they left it, and that's okay. I know that I can't help everybody, and I have to tell Hope Dealers that we're not going to be able to help everybody. Everybody we talk to, it may go in one ear out the other. They may be talking about us in their head while we're talking. That's okay. We're going to continue to make sure our voice is being heard because there's going to be somebody within that time, within that crowd, or in that setting that's going to need to hear what we needed to say. And that was one of those moments where some people needed to hear it and some people didn't. And people took advantage and they're still working to this day. So that means we saved a couple young men and women from the streets. So that's a less killings and drug activity within our city. Virtual. We did an Mlk Celebration week due to COVID. So during this week, we did Women's Appreciation Ceremony where we honored a couple women, Bria Armstrong, Kara Reeves, Mona King. I could just name a few. Vivian, so many people. It was so many of them, man. It was an awesome event. I'm an emotional person. I cry, y'all. I cry. I want to cry now. I'm just an emotional person. I'm just emotional because I'm very passionate, so I cry when I get real into it. But we were able, like I said, I'm real big on women. This was a time where we needed to not only honor women of color, but also women of all races. Because the movement that I have, I don't look at color, I look at the heart of people, right? So this event was to bring awareness to women, right, of all color, because the dream was never for one race. It was always for all races. So when you think of the dream, people try to put the dream in one box. Oh, he was only talking about this group of people. No, he was talking about the world changing and the world coming together. And this was one of the moments that we had women of all races on one platform, honoring each other. And the times we're living in, not too many people do that, where they honor each other and say, you know what, I love what you're doing, I support you, and we honor you. So we were able to do a virtual MLK week. Great event. It was awesome. Like I said, I cried. Most of them cried. It was great. I loved it. Here we go. Tent City, Akron. I got a phone call 2 weeks ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, by Arnita Miles. She was the one originally that started this movement, right? But let me put this out there. This Tent City has been out there for 3 years now. I've never known it. I don't think nobody else knows that these people have been living out there for almost 3 years now. So when she called me, she said, Frankie, I know for a fact that you can bring more awareness to this movement. Please come visit. So I came out there. I don't like getting dirty, right? So I put bags on my shoes and I went out there and talked to the people. And after talking to them and hearing their hearts, I know they're not perfect, okay? I know that they've been through some things, but they deserve a second chance. And that goes back to helping other people everywhere. So I immediately got on live and told them, show everyone what was going on. It brought awareness. Oh, everybody just found out about it. It was just blowing up, blowing up, blowing up. And then that's when we found out there were other, like 10 to 15 other 10 cities within our city, right? You see? And that really hurt me. So what we did, we made it our goal. Me, Miss Arnita Miles, and Enough is Enough was another organization that's been working with it. We said we're going to make sure that we feed them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We did that, no problem. Lunch and dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We made sure that they had blankets. We made sure that they had sterno and propane bottles to make sure they can stay warm. We provided them with hygiene products. So much, we just made sure that they had. Okay. Out of nowhere, I'm here in FlyWheel at one of the best places you can be. It's a quick promotion marketing right here. So definitely come visit FlyWheel Coworking.
We didn't tell him to say this.
And nobody told me to say it. I love FlyWheel. I'm sitting in FlyWheel and somebody comes and says, you need to get to Akron right now. I said, oh my God, what's going on? I said, is the people okay? Because I'm a very emotional person again, so I'm panicking. They said, dude, you need to get there. The police just walked through there. They said they put them out, all of this. I said, oh, no, they're not. I left quickly. That's when I left so fast out of here. I got to Tent City, Akron. Make the long story short, the city put a no trespassing sign on. They drew the lines, and they said that they had to be out that Friday by 12 midnight. Oh, no. I'm passionate. I love my people. I love helping people. So you know what I did? I called every city official. I called the chief. I called the sheriff. I was not sleeping or going home until I know for a fact that they were going to change their mind about making them leave. Make the long story short, it took about some hours to work this out. Hours. Took hours. I cried. I was frustrated. I didn't give up though. No matter what, and I don't know who needs to hear that. If you're passionate about something and there's distractions that would try to detour you off, don't do it. It's going to hurt, but trust the process and continue the movement going. I kept going no matter what. Make the long story short, they will not be putting them out of Tent City. Oh, no. They will not be out of Tent City. But this is what I told the residents, and I'm very big on this. And people have to understand, we don't tackle homelessness to enable them. That's what people get in this. You keep giving and giving and giving. Oh, Lord. You keep giving and giving and giving, but there's never time for them to take responsibility for their own life. Then that's a problem. So you know what I told the residents? And I told them straight up. I said, now, the city wanted to move you, but instead they changed their mind and kept you here. Now, what are your plans? I asked them, what are your plans? What are you going to do? Is Tent City your last step? I said, because this week, let's make the long story short. This week is Resource Week. I told them this is Resource Week. We are working on getting you out of here. I'm not tackling homelessness to keep them homeless. No, I'm helping you. I don't want you to worry about meals because I want you focused on getting the job. I don't want you to worry about staying warm. I'll make sure you stay warm as long as you get up and go find you a job. I don't want you worrying about hygiene products. I will make sure you got them. Just worry about getting a job. If you need to go to rehab, be honest, we'll get you there. If you need to go to social services, you need to go to the VA, whatever you need, this week we're going to do that. I told them this is Resource Week. I will not enable you because enabling you will fail the movement of what we started. So that's the goal. This week is resources. Resources. So if you know any resources, please feel free to email us because this is Resource Week. We're going to make sure you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But the thing about it is, we're going to feed you breakfast to go out into the community and find you a job. We got a van, and what we're working on is working on a van to get them around these different places. We're going to take them wherever they need to go. If the women need to go to social service about whatever, we're going to go there. There, right now, as we speak, I made sure that ESR, I don't know if y'all familiar with ESR is working with them this morning. They picked them up this morning on the van. We made sure that they're in the housing class right now as we speak. They're in the housing class. We were able to get 2 men out of Tent City a job, and he's no longer in Tent City anymore, 2 of them. They are working now. We were able to find them jobs and get them working. So all they need is somebody to believe in them, but I would not enable them. And that's why Tent City is very passionate to me, is because these people, all they need is a chance. So that's about Tent City. Currently, hygiene drive. Like I said, the pandemic hit, a lot of families need help, and there's a lot of people who can really use it. College students, specifically with some state students, reached out, and they really are in need of hygiene products. They have a movement going on campus, and we connected with them to allow them to come here as well to pick up hygiene products. We connected with so many different businesses or organizations or churches or whatever you want to call yourself. We connected with them, okay? For example, FlyWheel, Downtown Bodega, Young Democrats of Forsyth County. I'm the vice president of Young Democrats of Forsyth County, so they automatically had to join it. Cheesecake by Albie, Moji Coffee, Prep, 500 Fit, so many other people, so many, KT Yoga, so many other people. It's a lot of them. So what we do, we have drop-off boxes. I can pick it up. Oh, Lord, I don't work out, but drop-off boxes is inside of each business, right? What we're doing is allowing people to come drop the donations off. When they get full, we're going to pull them out, take them, leave your box, and we're going to keep it going. I got 3 text messages this morning about businesses calling me and saying, you really need to come get this stuff because it's all over my floor. Like, people just keep dropping stuff off. Shout out to Salem Supply Organic, whatever. But they are just, this event is going to be a blessing to so many families and people across the city. And I'm just excited. So on the 27th and the 28th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we're doing distribution day, which means at Destiny Temple Outreach, we got volunteers. I think the volunteers app is closed for people to sign up, but if you still want to sign up, please email us and let us know. We're going to have volunteers, and we're going to let you drive through. We're going to have packages, put in your trunk, keep going. That's how I go. And that we're going to be able to bless. Our goal is to reach over 200 families. That's my goal. Our goal is to reach over 200 families within the city. If we could do more, that'd be a blessing. So that's the hygiene drive that we're currently working on in our organization. We guarantee, okay, employment assistance, tutoring, collaborate with law enforcement, aim to address poverty, injustice, and Winston resources for women and teens, and community service hours. So this is definitely guaranteed. I will make sure that this happens. And our team is working tremendously hard to be the voice within the city in every way possible. We are working closely. I work real closely with Sheriff Bobby Kimber. That man is 1 in a million. 1 in a million. He helps any way possible with my organization. And I definitely want to say that publicly, that I thank him. And other city officials. Me and city officials had a little falling out this past week, but we're good now. I love them. I will always love them. I will always love the mayor. I will always love the chief. I love my people where I stay. So I love y'all. I just love you. You know, so this is definitely what we guarantee. My beautiful team, oh, I love them. We're still recruiting, but these group of people right here, I love them. They work tremendously hard. There's some people left out, Ethan, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Ethan, everybody knows Ethan King. I'm pretty sure you know Ethan King. President-elect, administrator, he's an internship coordinator. Vanessa Ross, which is my fiance, soon to be Vanessa Gist in a couple more months. She's the volunteer coordinator, director of prep, women's outreach. Taylor Torres, awesome young lady, one of the interns, winter spring intern, event coordinator. And that's a couple other people, Nadia, Tyrone, is a lot of, why you didn't put them on there? But this is the team. This is the team.
Tyrone's on the call.
Tyrone's on the call. Tyrone, I love you, man. Thank you for all you do. It's a bad frog who doesn't praise his own pond. I always tell them, go where you are appreciated, not where you're tolerated. Okay? That's just a good little nugget for somebody. Support needed. And this is definitely needed. We're still, like I said, we're in progress. We're really building. I've revamped this organization, and I had to start all over because before I had a team, it was just me and my fiance doing everything by ourselves with our son in the car. I'm driving everywhere. boxes all over. He's pushing the boxes, everything. We were just me and her. We were a team. So I've got people. We're looking for board members, board of directors, assistants with grant writing, legal assistants, volunteers, full-time and part-time, storage unit. Those are the support needed. Support needed. Like I said, we're genuine. We're a genuine team. So, regardless, we will make it happen. But I do believe that it takes a village. And it can't be just a couple people in the village that's helping, but it has to be the whole village. If you see an organization or a group of young people that's out here really trying to make a difference, I would definitely get behind that. And I'm not saying it just because of Hope Dealers, but I'm saying it because of the team of people that work closely with me and the passion that they got. We don't even plan events crying. You see what I'm saying? We're that passionate about helping people. So if you can help out with any of these needs, definitely, please contact us because we need you and we love you and we want you to be a part of this movement. Follow us on social media. I'm not really good with all these social medias, but follow us. They're good with it, okay? Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, that's great. Follow us on there. We're active. We're real active. We'll respond to any messages sent, and that's as far as that. For inquiries, anything under the sun, get in touch. This is how you can get in touch with us. I don't think you can say it, so I'll say it out loud. The email is hopedealeroutreach16@gmail.com. But I'll just say our website because all of this is on the website. Let me just say it like that. www.hopedealeroutreach.org. www.hopedealeroutreach.org. I said it again for the people in the back. www.hopedealeroutreach.org. Please follow us, subscribe, and definitely see how you can volunteer anything with us. We're always, like I said, we're consistent. And always support an organization that's consistent. So I guess that's it, right? Okay.
Thank you so much, Frankie. We will now take some questions. If anyone has any questions, you can unmute yourself and speak up or write it in the chat and I will ask it on behalf of you. My question is, what does PREP stand for?
PREP.
Preparation, reassurance, encouragement, and perseverance. That's how we empower the minds of young women. It's through preparation, reassurance, encouragement, and perseverance.
I love it. PJ.
I just want to say, Frankie, I am so proud of you. You know who this is.
I love you, man.
You know who this is. I just want to say hello to everybody. I'm just so proud of you, Frankie. You are becoming someone that everybody looks to for guidance. God has a bigger plan for you. Do not give up. I know it gets hard. It gets hard for me, but still, please do not give up. And that's all I got to say.
Blessings, brother. Blessings, blessings. Don't make me cry, okay? Don't cry, baby. Don't make me cry.
Somebody hand him some tissue.
Another question. Not a question again. What does, I guess every day is different, but a typical day look like for you and for your team?
For our team, okay. Typical day. We come into the office, right? Handle whatever we already need to handle. As far as, for example, we've been working on a hygiene drive, so we needed to come into the office, finish calling around to all the other businesses or organizations that will be a part of confirming with certain people, making sure the volunteers is in place. Then we're into community groundwork. We go visit the different neighborhoods, checking up on them, making sure everything's in place. We already have people who we work with employment, so we helping them get to where they need to get to, helping get them their suits and whatever clothes they need for their interviews. Feeding the homeless daily, that's something we do daily, so we're making sure we're handling that as well. But that's a typical day where in the community doing groundwork, it's going to be different every day. But every day we're always feeding the homes. That's one thing we're doing, and always making sure we get our clients to their jobs as much as possible and provide much resources as possible for the people within these communities.
Your office is here.
Right here at FlyWheel.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it here.
You love being here.
Yes, love it here.
It's good.
Yeah. Any more questions? Don't be scared. Ask me any questions you want. If you want to know more about Tent City, definitely ask me anything about the hygiene drive. Ask me. I'm not talking now.
Okay. Why don't you describe some of the things that you're looking for?
Okay.
Hygiene drive?
For example, we're looking for toothpaste, toothbrushes, lotion, shampoo, tissue, women personal things, sanitary napkins. That's a couple of examples of what we're looking for. But the main thing, one of the main things is definitely getting the people the real hygiene, like toothbrushes and toothpaste and things that they would need to be able to go out here and get jobs. Too, because I always tell people it's not on you, it's in you. But first of all, you got to make sure whatever you got on is right. And that means making sure your arms smell good, making sure your hair combed, making sure your face not ashy. I'm just saying, because like I said, in order to get something you never had, you got to do some things you've never done. So you will never be able to get to the place where you want to if your hygiene is messed up. That's just being honest, okay? Because if I don't want to sit with you, if you stink, okay? I can't. That's been, my mom used to tell us that all the time. She said, always make sure you carry deodorant around with you because you never know. You play a lot and something happens. So, and these people, our people in the community that's struggling need us. They need us. I can tell you how many messages I have, over 200 messages of people talking about how much they need hygiene products. So I said, well, you know what, T? We need to do something that will cater to that need. That's why I say I go into every day in a typical work day is going into the community to investigate to find out what's going on. There is no beef going on within the community because I investigate and I shut it down. I talk to different gangs to talk to the head honchos and say, hey, this is not going to work down here. It's not going to work. Y'all two need to get it together and let's move on. And that's a typical day. Investigation, find out what's needed, and we execute.
So, Frankie, would you say that the need for hygiene products is being driven by they're focused on using their resources to feed themselves, their families, to keep them in a home or location, pay the power bills.
Right.
And so that's one of the things that kind of falls down the list.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Because, and my thing is, and like I tell the residents, even at Tent City, we know you're struggling and you need a job, right? You need a job. Okay, if you don't have deodorant in your house, if you barely have any toothpaste for you and your 5 kids or of your family, that job is you're definitely not getting that job. Because when I used to go to an interview, I used to watch, I watch this every day. They're watching me before they even talk to me. Then when I sit with them, before they even open up their mouth, people are trying to just make sure you're keeping yourself up, making sure that you're looking like where you want to go. Because you got to look like where you want to go. If you want to be a doctor, sometimes you have to look like a doctor and surround yourself with doctors, with good
At this point, I think she's just trying to figure out what is.
I think too, and it's more of a comment, it's about dignity, I think too, with toothpaste and the toothbrush, because it's hard to just simply imagine yourself in another situation, in a better situation, if you can't even do the basic necessities for yourself that make you feel like a human being. Like, how can you even begin to pick yourself up if you don't even feel like a human being because you can't brush your teeth? And so that to me is just part of the importance. Love
that's
it.
definitely true. Definitely.
What's the long-term goal with the tent cities? Is it to eventually get everyone out of a tent city and employed or in a shelter, and what are the barriers to getting everybody in a shelter, first of all? And second of all, is that even realistic? Like, we're always going to have homeless, and every city has a tent city, and we have those folks who they're like, this is my life and this is where I am, and they're going to stay there, right? So we have some well-known homeless folks in Winston. At times they've been offered help and they're like, this is just who I am, and that's okay too. And so how much is actually realistic, and how do we continue to help those people and who maybe don't want help, and what barriers do we overcome to get people in proper housing? A lot of questions, sorry.
So when I talked to the team yesterday that's helping with Tent City, we had a meeting, and the long-term goal is very correct. The goal is never to allow them to continue to stay there. Our goal is to give them the house, get them the resources and help that they need to be able to not be homeless anymore. But I told someone, you said a statement that the chief even told me as well, but I even saw it for myself, that a lot of people are comfortable where they are. It's just, they've been doing it for so long that they don't see themselves coming out, right? I tell people all the time, when helping you is hurting me, I have to let you learn for yourself. There will, and like I said earlier, I know for a fact that we won't be able to help everybody. Some people, they just have to learn from experience on their own, and some people will take the help that's offered to them and succeed. So what we're doing is, we're still, I don't care if you tell me you don't want help, I don't care, I'm still going to give you the same opportunities that I'm giving everybody else, to say, hey, what do you need? Like yesterday, I went to every one of them, they told me what they needed. I sent some of the people that help us with Tent City, took some of them to Social Security, took some of them to the rehab. One of the men yesterday checked into rehab yesterday. That was a big step for him. He said he's been an alcoholic over 30 years. He said it took a 25-year-old boy just to tell him straight up and let him know. I told him, I said, man, you can do better. I said, I see better in you. And sometimes we have to uplift their spirits too, because they've been down so long and nobody never believed in them. So when someone comes and actually believes in them and it's genuine and they can feel it, they will be more willing to take that step of faith and say, you know what? I do want to change. I told him also, I said, don't tell me you want to go to rehab because I'm saying it. Go for yourself. Because the thing is, if you do it for me, I'll take you and you'll end up checking back out in a couple of days because you were never ready. And that goes back to what I was saying. You cannot help other people until you're able to help yourself. He has children. I said, you can't be that father to your children if you're still dealing in this situation. So if rehab is where you need to go, let me know and I'll make sure you go. We checked him into rehab yesterday free of charge. He's in rehab as we speak. 30 years of alcoholic. All it takes is just someone to believe in him. So the long-term goal is to bring awareness to Tent City, but also show them, say, hey, these people, they came from Tent City, but look where they are now. They're getting jobs. They're getting the help that they need. They're getting their children back. They're getting their life back. They're getting their mind back. And some of them have mental health problems. So we even connected with mental healthcare providers that can give them the help that we can't give them. So like I said, this week is resource week. Whatever help that they need this week, that's what we're doing. And it's not just gonna be this week, it's gonna be the next week and the next week until I see that you want better, until you do it now.
And a lot of that also ties into holding your city leaders accountable for what they're not doing. It's one thing to tell someone to leave. Now you have random people, and then we have a whole bunch of Karens calling, talking about we got random people walking up in our neighborhood. Well, had you had a plan B when they were trying to kick those people from the tent city out. Well, Frankie asked, well, where are they going to go? They didn't have no answer. They shrugged their shoulders at us and said, we don't know. So why would you send someone out into the neighborhoods, in people's neighborhood homes where their kids and families are sleeping, and you have nowhere to go? I'm talking about these people up here doing heroin and stuff, and you want them to go walk around where kids are out there playing in their neighborhoods. That's not a okay environment. So we want to hold those people accountable and make them, instead of spending all that billions of dollars on all these other buildings and things, let's use those buildings to bring more rehab facilities. We need more homeless shelters. All the shelters that we have are full.
Everyone we called that day. And I work closely with these shelters. I feed the Bethesda Center all the time. I called each of them. They said, Mr. Gist, I'm gonna just tell you straight up, we ain't had room in a shelter for a long time. That's why so many tent cities. He said, because of the pandemic, and see, this is the thing too. As I said, everybody got to take accountability and responsibility in this. Mm-hmm. Some of the residents are banned from some of these facilities. Mm-hmm. So they can't go to the shelter. Mm-hmm. So the shelter is out of the question, right? So like I told the city official, all of these buildings, I can drive past so many buildings right now that could be utilized to help the homeless. Not just homeless, but provide jobs too, because one of the reasons they're homeless is because they need jobs, you know? And some of the other reasons because drug problems and that's why I say more rehab centers, but we have buildings that need to be utilized within our community to help end homelessness, because our city has a growing population of homelessness, honestly, on every side. I don't care what side it is, you're going to see homeless people somewhere in our city. So like I told the chief, like I told James Taylor's, we're real close city, Councilman Taylor, I told him, I said, Councilman Taylor, there is a need for all of these buildings and all this great money that y'all got. Y'all need to rethink all of that. Let's sit down and let's strategically plan. So I had made a call and I'm urging them. That's why the press conference was not happening today, because you have to sit down with me. We have to sit down as an advocate, as that city official. We need to come to an agreement together. We can't go against each other. That's never going to work, and that's never going to solve the problem. If we sit down at the table with the commissioner, with the chief of police, with the sheriff, with the mayor, with the city council, with everybody that's connected, I want everybody there. If you got a dog, bring him too. And let's sit down come up with a strategy. Minister Louis Farrakhan told me, you cannot do anything in this world, Mr. Gist, until you have a strategic plan that will work. So a press conference won't solve it. No, sir. We've been doing press conference on Facebook Live. We did our own press conference. So we need to sit down and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is the amount of money that we have to fix this right here. So, yeah.
– Wonderful. We got time for one more question.
Good.
Tyrone, yes.
Yes. Good morning, everyone, or afternoon. Well, I want to say to the Hope Dealers Outreach, to Frankie Gist and the team, no one knows what they have to go through to make this a success in what they do every day. No one knows the amount of hours that he has to spend at Tent City to make it a success. He has to miss time from his family, from home, other projects and things of that nature. Ethan works 30 shifts. He comes in the morning times and get right to work. That's how dedicated Hope Dealers is to changing our city. And I just want to say, keep up the good work.
Yeah, I think we can all say that. Thank you, Hope Dealers, Frankie, Ethan, all of y'all for what you do. FlyWheel is excited to continue to work with y'all, promote y'all's events, have your office here, have your teammates here, all of those things. I think Andrea wants to say something because she just unmuted.
Oh, I just wanted to say welcome to new faces we've not met before, Tyrone and Sharice and PJ, and where did Margaret go? I think she must have left, had to go. It's so nice. Hi, Kristen. It's so nice to see you all here on our event, and we hope you'll come back and join us for other other talks as well. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for being here and hearing what H.O.P.E Dealers has to say. Do you have any lasting few words to say?
As I always say when I end, love isn't love until you give it away. So today, go out and spread love today.
Great word. All right. Give a round of applause for him.